Do you often forget words when you start to speak English? It's frustrating, right? You think you know a word, but when you want to speak, you can't use it. You feel totally lost for words. This feeling often happens even though you have learned many words to expand your vocabulary. Why? Because your brain is like a fridge full of ingredients. You have the words, but they are disorganized. Sometimes you open that fridge, and because you can't see all the ingredients, you don't know what to make. Forgetting words when you speak is usually due to two main things: stress and trying too hard when you speak. If you relax, it's much easier for words to appear in your head. But the biggest mistake many language learners make is that they forget words because they have only studied them, but they haven't truly learned them yet. Many students think learning looks like 3 steps: see it, understand it, check the meaning, and memorize it. If you stop there, you have only studied a word, you haven't learned it. Learning is much deeper, and it takes longer. First, we need a mindset shift. Do not allow toxic thoughts to destroy your communication, such as thinking you are bad at English or too old. Not knowing a word simply means you have not had enough repetitions or enough necessity to learn it. When you start learning, don't think you should be able to use the word immediately. You are only at the start of the learning process. It's like getting on a train and thinking you've arrived at your destination, but the train is still moving. You have actually only just started your journey. You must focus on the process of learning, not ticking off words on a list. There are 2 different categories for all the words we learn. Passive vocabulary. These are the words you recognize when reading or listening to things like a podcast or news. You know what they mean, but you cannot yet use them effectively when you want to speak or write. Most of your vocabulary is passive. This area grows as you read and listen to more English. Active vocabulary. These are the words you can use freely and confidently when you want to speak or write something. They work in your brain and come quickly. The problem is that many language learners focus on learning more and more passive words. But if you want fluency, the important thing is not the number of words you know, it's whether they are active or passive. To communicate, it is more important to have active vocabulary. To move words from your passive vocabulary to your active vocabulary, you need to follow a deeper process. I call this the SUUU process. It looks like this: see it, understand it, check the meaning, use it, see it again, understand it, when and how to use it, not use it. Using a word several times and seeing or hearing it again in several contexts is part of the learning process. In fact, those last 3 steps often need repeating several times. The key to effective learning is to focus on using words more than simply memorizing them. Now, here are 4 practical steps that help you follow the SUUU process and activate your words, as recommended by POC English. Step 1. Record the word. Write the new word down in your notebook. Learn words in context. Podcasts, videos, and articles are better than isolated word lists because they give you a context that helps you better understand how to use a word. Step 2. Write fluent sentences. Since English words can have several meanings and different uses, it's important to see the word in context. Write 3 fluent sentences using the key word. For example, if you are learning shift, you must use it in different ways, such as meaning to move something, to change a gear while driving, or a period of work, like a night shift. Step 3. Discover collocations. The third step is to search for collocations. Collocations are groups of words that often go together. You can use an online collocation dictionary. For example, for the word shift, meaning a period of work, you would find collocations like work shifts, early shift, morning shift, or night shift. By using collocations, you learn the words with adjectives and adverbs. Step 4. Write a contextual paragraph. This step is very important in order to obtain the word readily in your head. Write a short paragraph using the word, its active meaning, and its collocations. This puts the word in context, which allows you to review the word later in your dictionary. For example, you can write, "Doctors work in shifts. That is why one doctor always goes home early, because I saw her doing the night shift." Even after mastering the SUUU process, you will always forget some words from time to time. It's a normal part of having a human brain. These strategies work for all levels of English and can be used immediately. Strategy 1. Use the breathe, smile, and answer technique. Forgetting words is often due to stress. If you find yourself blocking, try this. Breathe in for 2, out for 2, smile, and then answer. Relaxing makes it much easier for words to appear in your head. Strategy 2. Paraphrasing. Use related words or general words. If you can't think of the exact word, paraphrase or describe the concept using other words. This is a key skill for fluent conversation and highly beneficial for achieving high scores in the IELTS speaking test. Related words. Don't worry about being too precise. If you want to use the word exhausted but can't remember it, use related words like sleepy, tired, or out of energy. These words communicate the big idea, which is what's important. General words. If a similar word fails, use a more general word. For example, if you can't remember sneakers or trainers, simply say shoes or sports shoes. Paired words. Many English words are paired. If you say salt and, most English speakers will fill the gap with pepper. This is an effective way of indirectly asking for help. Strategy 3. The opposites plus not formula. This is an effective and simple way to jump around a missing word. Think of the opposite of your missing word and add the word not in front of it. For example, if you forget ugly, take the opposite, beautiful, and say, "That car is not beautiful." This works especially well with adjectives. An added bonus is that it helps you speak diplomatically and avoid certain negative words, such as saying, "The manager's instructions are not clear." Strategy 4. Give the big idea first. If you have to describe a word you don't know, tell your listener the general category first. State if you are looking for a thing, a tool, an action, or a verb. This takes only a moment and prepares your listener to help you. To use this strategy, focus on learning key vocabulary for describing things. Focus on shape, size, and texture, and also the names of some common materials like metal, wood, and plastic. Strategy 5. Use body language. Do not be afraid to use your hands, face, and body. Depending on your cultural background, you may have been taught not to use gestures, but body language provides an enormous amount of helpful extra information. Feel free to combine your gestures and body language with the English you know to fill in those missing gaps. Strategy 6. The secret formula. Core meaning plus 4. If you become an expert with this strategy, you can survive almost any conversation with a limited number of words. Take the missing word and simplify it to its core meaning and general category and combine it with 4. A bakery becomes a shop for bread. A pediatrician becomes a doctor for children. You can add a simple adjective for clarity, such as the metal thing for heating the room. Remember, if you use a verb after for, don't forget to add ing at the end of the verb. Remember that real communication happens in context, not in textbooks. People don't care how many words you know, they just want to communicate with you and understand your message. Think about this. Who would you prefer to speak to? The person who stops the conversation to struggle, check their phone, and eventually says, "The bakery," or the person who says, "Excuse me, I'm looking for the shop for bread"? The second option is not a lower form of English. It's an example of successful, fluent communication. You can make a deliberate effort to learn the precise word bakery later. While you continue to improve your vocabulary, keep communicating. Focus on the process of learning, be kind to yourself, and enjoy the journey to fluency.